Hello, chat. Hello. How are you all doing today? On this April 10th, 2023, as you can see, Model 2.5 is finally here. So, you might be asking, where the hell did the vampire VTuber model go? Very simple answer to that question. I burned him to the ground. People often wondering, what exactly was hiding in Dreadscape's dungeon? Truth be told, it was me, the one and only true Dreadscape Gaming. I am a dragon VTuber that was imprisoned for a long time by a fraud vampire VTuber. Finally, though, I'm back and I'm free. So, if you're not familiar with who I am Dreadscape Gaming, YouTube content creator, mostly famous for Diablo 3 videos, as well as Diablo 2 videos, as well as some other type of content, such as Dead by Daylight, Friday the 13th, Pokemon, etc., etc. I also was a Twitch affiliate on Twitch for about a year and a half. I decided to leave Twitch to go back to full-time on YouTube, and I thought it was only appropriate, since this is a fresh start and fresh beginnings, that I would actually debut a brand new model, fresh start. So, what do you think, chat? You like the brand new model? As you can see, I have some nice, lovely horns, and as you can see from the background, these nice, lovely wings do in fact move back and forth. There's a little bit more motion tracking and everything of the sort. I'm actually very happy with the way this one turned out. We were working on it painstakingly for about, I don't know, over the course of the weekend. Really, we went full on. A lot of these certain elements I already had available to me. Skin texture I worked on a long time ago. Basic skeleton model. I always kind of make a new model just in case I'm interested in experimenting with stuff. So, as you can see, full eye tracking, full head motion. The wings, I think, are a pretty nice touch there. And the outfit was pretty cool too. I do have some other types of range of motion, as I'm going to show off here in a second. If we can bring up my nice little... No, they don't. They're not registering right now. That's so unfortunate. Let me see here, chat. There we go. I do have things I can do with my hands. Very limited at the moment, but it's a work in progress. Eventually, we'll be able to do exactly what we want. But I'm very happy to be able to get the brand new model out. As I mentioned before, we are now YouTube exclusive again. So all content moving forward will be back on YouTube. For those of you who've been asking, yes, that means there will be some guides coming in the future, particularly for Diablo 3. I might do some Monster Hunter guides, I might do some Pokemon related stuff as well, but we're also going to have, long-form content like we had on Twitch, that being like, pre-recorded streams. I might do a live stream here and there, depending, but I want to really be able to do full control over my content, which was a big reason why we decided to leave Twitch TV, because there's a lot of issues with Twitch. A lot of that time, back-end issues where there was glitches happening and everything of the sort. So this is kind of a way to go back to regular form and everything of the sort. So today we're going to be playing some more Diablo II Resurrected. I'm still working with my sorceress, so we're going to go through some hell difficulty terror zones, try to farm out, try to get some items, looking for Sunder Charms. I haven't been able to find the Sunder Charms as of yet, which is pretty annoying to say the very least, because I've been looking for a while for Sunder Charms and we just haven't been able to do that. So let's get into the game room. Hopefully my wings aren't going to block too much. I did kind of decrease the size of the model on this particular screen, because I do understand that these wings, as you see, these lovely, lovely wings of mine, kind of have a mind of their own, and they will get in the way of certain things. So let's get into this Diablo 2 grinding today. I'm really looking forward to getting back into it. Alright, I will show off the build also while we're at it. So we're going into hell difficulty, already cleared through Nightmare Bale and everything of the sort. Alright, shouldn't take too long for us. Have it loaded? Okay, good. We're in the Far Oasis. Really? Weren't we already here? Well, that kind of works out in my benefit, because I was already farming in Act 2, so Far Oasis is actually a pretty easy area to farm. Let's show you exactly what we're working with. Now, just to show you, here usually I would have in place a Wizard Spike if I'm going for full-on attack. And then instead of the Chance Guard gloves, I would be using the Trag'Oul. But because I'm trying to do Magic Find, because apparently for Terror Zone farming you need very high Magic Find, I had to kind of change the build I was rocking with last week up a little bit. So we're going to be using Tau Raja's Lidless Eye, Tau Raja's Erratic Crest, Tau Raja's Fine Spun Belt, I believe, or Cloth as it's called. These three things together will give us an increase of 65% to Magic Find, as well as like 10 plus life, which could come in pretty handy depending on the situation. We're also going to be using a skin of the Viper Magi, Serpentine Armor. It's not fully upgraded yet. I will upgrade it in a future installment. And also keep in mind I do have it socketed with a Perfect Topaz, so we can increase the Magic Find. For the shield, I have a Splendor, which is Eflum to socket. This increases our Magic Find as well. I want to put a Rhyme shield here, though, because I've heard that Rhyme is a little bit better. For our gloves, we're using Chance Guards. The reason for this is it gives us 35% better Magic Find, as well as 200 extra gold. For the rings, I'm using a Raven Frost, because I don't like to be frozen, as well as a Stone of Jordan. For the boots, I was fortunate enough this weekend to get a couple good runs in the Terror Zone, so we got Waterwalk boots. We prefer Sandstorm boots, but these are the next best thing that you can really be rocking with. As for the necklace, it's just a placeholder till we get the Kaleidoscope. What is it? Mara's Kaleidoscope, if I remember correctly. But this will give us decent resistances, plus 10 to all attributes too. That's never necessarily a bad thing. It's a placeholder at the moment. Now, as for the skill tree, since this is mostly a Frozen Orb / Fire build, we're going to want 1 point into Frozen Armor, 1 point into Ice Bolt, 1 point into Ice Blast, 1 point into Frost Nova, 1 point into Glacial Spike, 1 point into Blizzard, 20 points into Frozen Orb, 20 points into Cold Mastery. Now, if you don't want to use the fire skills in particular for this build, what you would do is then put 20 points into Ice Bolt just to be able to increase the power of Frozen Orb. I'm not doing that because I'm going to eventually wait to respec this particular character out. So what you also need to do for this is you want 1 point into Warm, 20 points into Firebolt, 20 points into Firebolt, and then you want half of whatever the 20 points is. So 10 basically into Fire Mastery, though you can max out to 20 if you get to level 99. Alternatively, if you do want to go the Meteor Orb route with this, what you would do is 20 points here, 20 points here, 10 points here. You could put 1 point here, 1 point here, 1 point here, and then you put whatever's rest that you have leftover points into Meteor. But something that you have to take into consideration, or things that you need on this skill tree, is lightning skills. So you're going to want 1 point into Static Field, 1 point into Telekinesis, and 1 point into Teleport. Why do we want 1 point into Teleport? It is very, very important because with 1 point into Teleport, we are able to teleport around the map, which gives us a lot of mobility as the sorcerers, which is what makes the sorcerers really good. You might be wondering, why is there a point here? It's an item that I'm wearing that's giving me the point. It's not that I invested a point to it. Okay, so from there, that's pretty much what your build is going to be. For your mercenary, get a helmet that has lifesteal on it. Very, very important. So I'm using Steel Skull for the moment because that's the best I found. Here, you can use Smoke or Nephilim. I have put Duriel Shield on here before. It doesn't do too well because the thing is, the Mercenary, aka Follower, depending whatever game you're playing it in. It's called Mercenary in Diablo 2, in Diablo 2 Resurrected. You could put a Duriel Shield here, but I feel like Nephilim gives you a little bit more bang for your buck, but you could put Duriel Shield here if you want. As for the weapon, right now I have an Insight because I want mana regeneration. Ideally, you would want an Infinity, but keep in mind Infinity requires a lot of little high-end Ruin Words, which, you know, depending on the grind, depending when you get, it needs like a Bear, it needs a Mal, I think it needs an Ist if I remember correctly, so it's a work in progress. Ironically though, before we even get into actual playing today, I did actually get some pretty good endgame Ruin Words today. I ended up, not the Dull's not important, I have a lot of them. I actually ended up having an Ohm drop. I haven't seen an Ohm drop in God knows how long, a very, very long time. Also, one of the other things that I did manage to get the drop was a Sur. So I was very happy to see a Sur Rune drop. So we're starting to see some rare things drop finally in Hell difficulty. So as for, I made a mistake here, so keep that in mind. I have to respec this out, but Ideally, you want 150 for your strength. That way you can hold a Monarchy shield. You want enough dexterity to be able to hold whatever gear you're rocking. Then the rest pretty much goes to vitality. Eventually, I'm going to respec this character out, or I'll just make a brand new sorceress. This is really just for my farming endgame for Terror Zones, because this is one of the characters that I have right now that can kind of clear through hell difficulty somewhat comfortably. Let me check one thing on OBS. Okay, we're good to go? Yep, we're still good. Okay, great. So, let's get to this chatty chat. Hope you're all doing very well today on this Monday. Very, very happy to be back on YouTube gaming full-time again. Very happy to be back to, you know, a pretty normal gimmick, as some would say, but, I was asking a couple trusted friends whether they like the vampire voice, or if they felt like really VTubers should be super, super into character. A lot of people were like, nah, we just want somebody that's, like, super chill, so going forward, we're going to go back to pretty much the old way things where I'm going to be super chill, just have a really badass model. Somebody asked, actually, if I was working for Lilith with the new model, because obviously Diablo 4 is going to be coming out in a not-too-distant future. Well, I would serve the hordes of Lilith and her army. Yeah, she's one very hot, demonic babe. Why wouldn't I? Okay, now, you know, for Far Oasis being basically what our Terror Zone is, this is good and it's bad. This is an easy area for my character to farm because I can obviously deal with both immunities. But there's not a lot of high-density mobs in the area, so, you know, I like to basically go to areas that have a lot of mobs on the screen at the same time, because the reason for that is higher chance to get really, really loot to drop. Also, there's more possibility for champion packs, because for Sunder Charms in particular to drop, they only drop from either the bosses, the elite, or the champion monsters. Anything else they won't drop from. It doesn't mean that you don't want to kill the low-level enemies, because there's always a possibility that they might still drop some rare gear that's not exactly a Sunder Charm, but it's a little bit annoying to say the very least. Ideally, from what I've been experimenting with and seeing, probably your best bet at Sunder Charms is Ondario and Act 1 Terror Zones, but those are sometimes very difficult to clear through. Ideally also Chaos Sanctuary, Worldstone Chamber, anywhere pretty much those really hard endgame areas, but, you know, considering we're not fully geared out yet, ideally for this build, I would like a Griffin's Eye. The good thing about Terror Zone farming is there is a chance to get Griffin's Eyes to drop, although, obviously, it's a very rare chance, because one of the things people don't realize about Terror Zones is that, particularly in Hell, they have the possibility to drop any item in the game, and a pretty good significant chance to it, because they're all, like, level 85 plus areas. Obviously, the other benefit to doing Terror Zones, as opposed to doing just Bail Runs in particular, Bail Runs are good for loot. Why am I killing this thing with fire? I can't actually break through its resistances yet. Let me move back from there, because you see there's a lot of chain lightnings going off. I'm not trying to get killed here, because when you die in Hell difficulty, it happened to me yesterday when I was just randomly farming on my own, you end up losing 10% of whatever your experience points is. So towards the end of the game, when you're getting very high up into the levels, we're like, I think level 87, if I'm not mistaken right now, 10% sets you back quite a bit, because of experience, it takes a while to gain experience points, even with Terror Zone farming. So we're going to do a couple of these runs. We'll continue to hopefully get better items. We'll chill, we'll relax. What a very interesting question that was asked to me on an email. I'm going to kind of take the opportunity to address a couple of things before. A lot of people were like, well, why did I really move away from Twitch again? And I have covered this before, why I even was doing Twitch and over YouTube for quite a while, and why you were mostly seeing non-exclusive YouTube content. The reason for that was, obviously, I had the Twitch affiliate deal. And the Twitch affiliate deal allowed me to monetize my content. As a lot of people know in the Dreadite Army, I, obviously, do a lot of content creation work. So I was trying to, as a lot of people say, secure my bag, and as a lot of people know from my days here on YouTube, I make the guides and everything in the sort. Is that Griffin's Eye? It's a Griffin's headdress. I just got freaking trolled, man. We're gonna take a look at it anyway, because I haven't actually seen one of these ever drop, but it's not what I'm looking for, unfortunately. That's the game kind of like, oh, we heard you were talking about Griffin's Eye. It'd be a damn shame if we trolled you and gave you this and stuff. Yeah. But before I check it out, we probably gotta take care of these mobs. Alright, come on. Can I look at the item? This isn't... This is for a druid. And it's actually a bad druid drop. At that, okay. That's fine.
I am overburdened.
We're not gonna get rattled over that. But yeah, so like I was saying before, the reason really I was more invested in Twitch was because of monetization. But I'll be honest with you, for small Twitch creators in particular, you don't really see a lot of money. So what, $50 max ever on Twitch? In fact, Twitch is still holding like $20 because there's obviously a limited threshold before you get a payout. Obviously, it's the same thing on YouTube for back in the day, because I did have Google AdSense for websites. Google actually owes me a lot of money that I've never collected on. They owe me hundreds of dollars now that I think about it. But yeah, with that being said though, you know, so I did obviously want to secure my bag, but obviously when it comes to Twitch discoverability, and I understand that a lot of people here on YouTube that follow my YouTube content prefer to just be able to, you know, sometimes fast forward through parts, sometimes be able to, you know, just be able to watch the content at their leisure. I understand that a lot of times it's very hard for people to make a very specific start time for live streams and stuff, and then sometimes people, content creator-wise, don't even. I hope that's a good plated belt. I don't see too many green ones to drop. So, let's see here. Maybe we're actually gonna get a run. Better not be Immortal Kings, which I think it is. Oh, it's Stygians. It's a terrible Stygians at that. Alright. That kind of makes me a little bit salty, but that's okay. It is what it is, chat. But yeah, you know, so the money wasn't really good, and I wasn't seeing it enough, and honestly, considering the amount of people that we have here subscribed on YouTube, as opposed to, and I do appreciate everybody that did follow me over to Twitch for that journey. We had like 110 people on Twitch, which are pretty good numbers considering the amount of time that we were on Twitch, but when you compare it to 628 members of the Dreadite Army, it's pretty obvious where these guys prefer to watch my content, so why am I not going to give the people what they want? A lot of things too, people were asking me about like Diablo content when I haven't been doing it for a while. And obviously people started to notice I started.
I can't carry anymore.
It's a kite shield. That might actually be a good kite shield, I hope. We're always looking for brown things. I see Steel Clash so many times. This isn't bad for like a low level paladin, but I already have a paladin that has Spirit Shield. So that's kind of useless for us. But one of the things too is like, you know, I understand people prefer to watch me here. I understand people can't make it out to certain times. I'm kind of the same way. Like, it's hard for me to make other people's streams on YouTube. Or not YouTube, excuse me, Twitch. Because, you know, obviously people got lives. People got stuff going on. You know, a lot of people know I watch a lot of basketball. I'm a big basketball fan. It's going to be the play-in tournament. You know, starting this week, I think tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. Unless it's tonight it already begin. So I'm going to be, you know, reducing the amount of people that I'm going to be able to watch regularly for a couple of months because, you know, I'm not going to miss basketball. You know, I understand life happens. That's why, you know, life happens with me. There's a lot of reasons why I wasn't able to stream on weekends like people wanted. I'm hoping now, going back to original format here on YouTube, that I'm going to be able to up my content creation plans again because, you know, I want to bring out YouTube guides. I want to still be able to do long-form content. I'm not making promises, but I would like to go back to trying to have at least content out 7 days a week again. I don't know if that's going to be feasible. You know, it depends. We're going to start with 5 days a week, and if I can throw something extra in the mix, we'll try it if I can. If I can't, you know, obviously I would love to have more time to do all these things, but I have my own personal schedules that go on. I think we do pretty good here on YouTube. You know, I still put out 7 days a week. There's every occasion where I can't put it out because, you know, you upload a video to YouTube, and then sometimes it takes a long time to process, sometimes YouTube can get a little bit of hiccups, but, you know, YouTube usually looks best, so we're gonna try, you know, to go back to old school form the way. There'll be some guides, Diablo 3 guide that I have the next one planned, because there's not too much we can really talk about in Season 28, this is probably going to be the last season of Diablo. Oh, this is not terrorized? But it's only the Far Oasis? Oh, that's interesting. think we might have grinded this whole area out then. Yeah. Yep, it looks like we pretty much... This is such a small area to grind. I'm actually a little bit disappointed. Let me check up this way in case this is an extension of Far Oasis. No? Alright, well, the good news about this particular Terror Zone, it's going to be easy to farm for experience points. The bad news, though, in retrospect, is there isn't a lot of high-density mobs. So, it's good, and it's bad. But we'll do whatever we can here, you know. It's alright. It's okay. Alright. Let's jump back in here. Let me look at the time. I'm going to turn my... a quick second. Okay, so we got about... We can do a good 30-40 minutes of Terror Zone farming here. Which will kind of work, because it's going to be an easy area to farm. Hopefully we'll get some good loot while we're doing it, too. That's the main objective right now. Easy farming. Because I'm pretty sure the next rotation is going to be either Tristram. It's also easy thing to farm. 5 p.m. In East Coast time. So I'm going based on single-player offline Terror Zone right now. I do prefer to play single-player for Diablo, because... If you're familiar with the term loot sharking, you know why a lot of people don't play Diablo. Also because of Diablo JSP, a lot of hacking stuff where people get their items too easily, the paid market and everything. I don't like the trade economy and all that. Also loot sharking. If you're not familiar with the terminology of loot sharking, basically means when you play online. In Diablo 2, unlike Diablo 3, loot is shared. Diablo 3, everybody has their own unique personal loot. Diablo 4, you have your own unique personal loot. Diablo 2, since obviously it's an old game from 20 years ago, it was very far-sighted, but they programmed it so that everybody shares loot when you're playing multiplayer. So, basically the concept of loot sharking is, somebody goes in and basically picks up all the loot, even stuff that they don't necessarily need for their character. And sometimes a lot of the time, the people who do loot sharking also happen to be what's considered leechers, basically people who are lower level that are having other people carry them through Terror Zone, bail runs, etc. So they'll just go in and get all the loot, not share any of the loot, and you basically get nothing. So that is a very common practice in Diablo 2, unfortunately. It's been like that for years. It's just kind of those old player mentalities when it comes to Diablo. Well, oh, you didn't click fast enough, you snooze, you lose, oh, you should have just been doing it solo. I will say this much. It's not so much the new players, because in Diablo 2 Resurrected, like, new players, generally, I've seen some pretty cool things in the community of people like gifting other people stuff and just giving them, which I think is kind of cool. But the like old school, we gotta heal up here. I might actually go back to base. That's what I get for talking about old school players. But old school players in particular are very mean in this game. They're kind of toxic. I don't want to say they're elitist, but they're like, oh well, you know, I get good, or oh well, that's all fair game because that's how the game is developed, and you know what, I'm just gonna click faster than you. Too bad. There's a bunch of people like that around. I don't have really too many more routes, but the problem is... Let me see. What is this ring? Actually, would want to keep that ring for different reasons. We got... Wow, they just came out of nowhere and just started attacking me. Okay. Good thing is nothing really here unless I get, like, very foolish is going to be able to kill us. I don't have space for that Ral. It's fine. Ral drops pretty frequently anyway. It's a very low... Eld? Huh. It's a very low-end rune word, which is what I was going to get at. Let's pick up that gold there. So yeah, you know, that's one of the things that I... You know, it's older players. I'm not saying all older players are like that, but some of them can be pretty crazy. Like, I saw somebody, a content creator, I thought was a cool idea. You know? It's like, a lot of people who play Diablo 2, if you've been playing since, like, the very get-go days, you know, you probably have a family... You probably have children, you obviously have work responsibilities and everything. So people can't farm as much as, like, it takes a long time to farm stuff in Diablo 2. I've been playing for Resurrected in particular for about a year and a half now, or 2 years it's been out? I don't remember. I think it might be 2 years. I've been playing, you know, Diablo way back in the day on old computer days, and I can't move over the save files and stuff like some other people, but... You know, those people have been playing for years. Obviously, you get different life responsibilities and stuff. You don't have time to farm. Sometimes it'll take you, like, hours and hours of farming. Case in point, anybody who's been following last couple days of us playing Diablo 2 Resurrected, how long has it taken for us to get a Sunder Charm? We still don't have one. We've been at this days right now. So, you know, there's this cool guy who was dropping a whole bunch of endgame loot for people just in his room, just in his stream. There's one dude in particular I see comes in and starts complaining like, oh, well, you softcore players and everything of the sort. And the guy had a great response to that. Like, yeah, we don't do that toxicity here. People have lives, people have responsibilities. You know, we just want to help people out so everybody can eat well. We understand that stuff. And I think that was a very cool mentality. I wish I remember the person's name of the content creator. I will maybe go and search for it after I get done here today. And maybe I'll link it so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure if you Google it, you'll see. But, you know, that's the type of people we need more in Diablo 2 community in particular. Because I feel like some people are a little too elitist, some people are a little too rude. And it's only in Diablo 2 that I see these things. You don't see this happen in Diablo 3. Well, because let's be honest, a lot of Diablo 2 players were never going to touch Diablo 3. They say it's too easy and everything sort. But it'd be nice if we could get rid of some of those toxicities, that elitist mentality. I've played a lot of Diablo 2 in my lifetime, and I try not to be elitist. I mean, I'm not going to say... Well, I don't really play with people in Diablo 2 online, so I don't have that problem. But, you know, even when I try to play Monster Hunter, I try for the most part to not be toxic. Obviously, sometimes you could get frustrated with new players Monster Hunter, because there's some people who make very common mistakes, as simple as, like, not upgrading armor and then taking, like, on one of the hardest challenges. And you can kind of tell those people that just kind of want to rush through and get carried. But even then, you know, I don't want to act, like, super toxic. But in Diablo 2, it's, like, a whole other type of elitist, which is sad. It's very unfortunate that people act the way that they do in that game. Because I really think, like, Diablo is such a fun game. And when you have, like, a really good community of players going, and there are good people, obviously. MC Llama, for the most part. I mean, although I don't agree with some of his viewpoints for Diablo 4, and we're going to be talking a lot more about Diablo 4, because I have given, like, an initial review that you can watch on YouTube here. And I did have something I wanted to talk about with the Druid, but I'm going to probably hold off on making that video for a while. You know, but, like, with Diablo 4 in particular, I thought it's, like, really good with how they were able to kind of make a marriage of things that worked in Diablo 2, such as certain classes that were popular. Because you'll notice that the Sorceress, the skill tree, very similar to Diablo 2 in certain retrospect. That they made the skill tree, or respec system, a little bit easier, so you're just paying with gold. I don't think is bad. Some people are complaining about that because they think that it should just be a rare item. No, the problem with... The thing about Diablo 2 is, as fun as it is, it's a lot of fun, obviously. Didn't need to drop that. Trying to get more topazes, because I do need these for magic find. Well, when I make them perfect, that is. You know, but when it comes to Diablo 2, like I was saying, there's, you know, a lot of good things, a lot of good people. Diablo 4, I kind of like the way that it's been marriaged. So it takes the good of Diablo 2, the things that kind of worked in Diablo 3, and then it... Oh, I wasn't expecting to teleport into a mob there. Good thing I paid attention there. Yeah, I'm still not too tanky, because it's like, obviously I'm working with lower end gloves than my Trag'Oul's ones for Magic Find. I have a better set, obviously, Trag'Oul's, but it's going to decrease our Magic Find. Right now we just need more Magic Find at the moment. This is a very easy area, too, so... I don't have a key. Alright, let's take these enemies out, too. They're trash now. Oh, there's a elite pack here. Still no Sunder Charms. And we've been at this for days. Let me touch this shrine. Or resist poison, that would be good. These guys remember an area? There's like a... It wasn't here. That's not terrorized, was it? Let's check. No. It's unfortunate, it's just a far oasis. Very easy area to farm for the most part. Yeah, that's everything. Okay, so... You know what we're doing, chat. Backing out. And back in. Alright, very good, very good. Hope you're all doing very well today. So yeah, Diablo 4, I'm definitely looking forward to it. We will be doing more Diablo 4 on the channel on launch. I don't know if we're going to be jumping into it the first day, because if the beta proved anything, it's the fact that Diablo 4 is not going to be very stable, at least for the first day. The two betas kind of proved that the first day it's going to be kind of rocky. The second day, things are going to get better. So, I'm probably not going to actually make content on Diablo 4 day one. We'll try. We'll see, but I'm not... I kind of already know how it's going to go. And I'm fine with that, because I knew that that's kind of how it's just going to go. That is what it is. And that's all that it's ever going to be, really. You know, you play enough Blizzard games, eventually you're going to realize what it is. Okay, so let's go here. I have to be careful, because a lot of these things here will kind of projectile me to death. We're not perfect yet. Things that I want for this build, in particular, Griffin's Eye, so we can break immunities that way. Obviously, we need more endgame rune words. We could get 2 bears, we'll be in a good situation. Not like an actual bear from the Druid, in case you're wondering. Talking about actual rune called B-E-R, bear. A Mal, an Ist. We have an now, so we're good for one of the rune words that I needed. Eventually, I'll make a chain of honor too. I believe that's the one I need for Magic Find, if I remember correctly. I don't remember every rune word off the top of my head because it's, you know, I play so many other games besides Diablo. A lot of people are always wondering what games do I play. Most games that I'm always playing,
I am overburdened.
anything that's Monster Hunter, anything that's Pokemon. Although I really hate Pokemon Scarlet, we will actually be doing Scarlet tomorrow for the first time on the channel. I know, right? Surprising. Other stuff that I play frequently, WWE 2K games. These are things, you know, WWE 2K to me is like a comfy game. Ooh,
I can't carry anymore.
there's a blade here. That might be something good. Oh, they're gonna square up. Alright. You know what? Let's be a smart player. We'll take care of these packs here. We are getting good loot. Don't get me wrong. They're good loot. It's just not Sunder Charms. Sunder Charms have their own pool table that they drop. You know. With Diablo 2, Diablo 3, I'm pretty sure Diablo 4, slow and steady wins the race. Spectral Shard. That's not bad. Not obviously for this character. I'm always thinking about other characters that I use, in case you're wondering. So, I think for one of my characters that's a little bit further back, we have the space. That's the thing. Always trying to find the space is the problem. Enough. Hell, I can't throw away a hell rune. Here. Chow. Soul. F. What are these? Let's see here. 7 magic find, that's not good. Necromancer, that might be okay. Raven loop. Theft. Eagle knot. 71 extra gold. Druid only. We could drop these. They're not that big of a deal. Yeah, we'll drop those. Just because I want another character to be able to hold that. I can afford to drop that stuff. None of that stuff's really gonna matter mid-game, endgame at this point. Let's check this. 28 life, 22 maximum stamina. Check here. 29 life. Let's see here. Maximum stamina with gold. That cold resist though. This is not bad. But I can't use it. Not for how I play at the moment. It's unfortunate, but that is what it is. Sometimes it just be like that. This one died. It gave me crap. Take out this mob. Take out this mob. Pick up the town portal. That's... Oh, never mind. My follower took it out. Or mercenary. I always call it the follower because I'm so used to Diablo 3 terminology. Interesting enough, it does not look like there's a follower in Diablo 4. And there's characters that will follow you during specific quests. Some of them will attack things for you. Some won't, but it looks like a very interesting route that they're going. I will say, for Diablo 4 in particular, I do like... I thought I wasn't going to be a fan of the open world aspects of the game, but it works very well in Diablo. And the reason I say that is because I've been playing, obviously, as some people have seen, I pissed off a lot of Lost Ark players the other day. I said, did Lost Ark still suck? I have been playing some Lost Ark, after playing Diablo 4, and you kind of realize that Diablo 4 is a better version of Lost Ark than Lost Ark is. You know, obviously, there is the debate of paid cosmetics in Diablo 4. Obviously, they're not going to warrant any competitive advantage to you, so for me, it's like, whatever. You know, it's kind of like in Monster Hunter. Sometimes I purchase stuff in Monster Hunter that are like cosmetics because I like the way they look, like the fluffy weapons in particular. And, you know, there's like layer armors where I could play as Lady Fiorraine, which I think was kind of cool. I'm not personally against it, as long as it doesn't net you a competitive advantage. If it's stuff that's like pay to win in particular, that's when I kind of have a problem with it. You know, so there's some people who are making a big deal of it. The Battle Pass for Diablo, again, do you care about the cosmetics? You know, it's one thing. From what I saw in the beta, and from what I've seen even past beta, stuff that people haven't seen yet, it's not gonna really detract from you. You can play Diablo 4 and enjoy it the way it is, and never have to play or buy the Battle Pass. It's just something extra there, you know? The seasons, I don't think, are even going to be tied to Battle Pass, per se. Because they're going to be, like, some seasonal events that are free and stuff. Kind of like how Diablo Immortal's done certain things, too. From what I've seen. So, you know, it's interesting because Diablo Immortal, as bad of a game as people, you know, say it is, obviously because it's paid to win, which I think is unfortunate. I think if they could change that model up a little bit, then probably more people would have played Diablo Immortal, but the pay-to-win aspect in particular just really hurts it. And it's been bleeding, like, players left and right. I'm still gonna play Diablo Immortal, because I feel like, as somebody that plays a lot of Diablo content and enjoys a lot of Diablo games, regardless of what, I can play, like, Immortal for funsies and not actually spend any money in the game, and I'd be fine. So I'm gonna, you know, obviously keep playing it. But in case of Diablo 4, like, everything that's cosmetic, microtransactions, fine. You don't have to actually spend money to actually do well in the game and everything, so it's fine. It's there if you want to, and if you don't want to, you can completely ignore that aspect of the game. Some people will complain about, like, transmogs and everything of the sort, but from what I've seen in the beta, you can transmog any armor that's available in the game, which is basically what everybody had access to in Diablo 3. So to me, it's a non-issue, because you just take the best looking gear and mix mash for a cool transmog for your character in Diablo. And I'd say transmogs work a little bit better in Diablo 4 compared to, because you don't have to spend money. Once you've, like, salvaged an armor, that armor basically has the ability to be transmogged over something. I don't know if you have to pay gold, because I didn't personally experiment with the transmog system, because I wasn't trying to play Fashion Hunter, basically, for Diablo 4. Not in the beta. Like, I went hard for two of my characters. I got them both to level 25, which was kind of crazy. Just because I wanted to kind of have bragging rights, so to speak, but... And in the beta, I only played 2 characters, obviously. I didn't have time to do 4 or 5 characters. Obviously, when Diablo 4 comes out, we'll play every class. We'll start making builds and everything. I mean, I kind of have an idea of what I'm going to do with my Sorceress at the moment. For that, it looks like Chain Lightning's still going to be kind of the way to go. So it's funny how that kind of carries over from Diablo. Also, Cold Sorceress wasn't bad necessarily. Ice Shard had some potential. I also played the Druid. So people were wondering about the Druid. A lot of people said the Druid sucked. I just feel like that's not a fair opinion. Considering the one thing about the Druid in particular is that he didn't have access to certain things that our characters did in the beta. For example, he didn't have access to boons. People don't know what boons are. Boons are because they didn't show it in the beta, but boons basically give your Druid access to more power, more skills, and more buffs and everything. So, the fact that he didn't have access to that stuff is obviously going to make him feel weaker. Another thing people are complaining, like, every build of Druid felt bad. I'll be honest with you, Cold, aka Hurricane Tornado Druid didn't feel so bad. I had a lot of good gear that was able to make me, you know, beat through the enemy pretty quickly. One of the things I saw people complaining about was that it took a long time to clear things with the Wind Druid. Wind Druid has always been like that, though, since they nerfed it in Diablo II Resurrected a bit. You know, your Cyclone damage, your Hurricane damage, it's about tick damage and stuff, so it's, you know, a slow and steady type of control pace type of character. So if you're not really familiar with Druid play from Diablo 2, and, like, you were just jumping into the Druid because you saw the trailers and stuff from, Blizzard put out, and you've never played another Diablo game before, I kind of understand why you would feel like, well, the Druid's just a terrible class, but he really isn't. There's a lot of good Druid builds. There was some pretty good stuff that I saw for Druid in Diablo 4. That'll be... I didn't need to open that portal. Because I was ranting about the Diablo 4 Druids, but... so there's stuff that can be done with it. Which I'm getting at. People saw only about maybe a tenth of what his true power is in terms of the Druid. And I'm being generous, to be honest with you, when I say that it was like a tenth of his power. More like maybe a fifth of what a Druid's going to be able to do in endgame. Or D4. It's just like, you gotta be patient. The other thing that's kind of like, I don't want to say it's irked me, but it has, is that a lot of people in the Diablo community for Diablo 4 are really quick to judge the game based on only a prologue and an act that they played. I played Diablo 4, I enjoyed it, I saw nothing wrong with it. For all intents and purposes, it was spot on. I didn't want to play any other games while I was playing Diablo 4 for those 2 weekends. Only thing I could think of when I was playing other games after Diablo 4 was no longer in beta. Is, man, I can't wait for Diablo 4 to come back. It's a fun game. We only saw Act 1 and the prologue. We don't have access to all the legendaries. We didn't have access to all the codex. There's a lot of stuff we haven't seen yet. I feel like if you are one of those people that just didn't enjoy what you saw because of the little bit in the beginning, the first 2 basic chapters for the game, wait. I understand if you're going to make your purchase and you're on the fence, I can understand that. You're going to want to see more gameplay. Especially if you're not, like, a fan of Diablo. I understand that. But there's people I know who have it, like, we're making some really rash judgments about saying how it sucks and it's just Diablo 3.5, which is not true. Diablo 3.5, for all intents and purposes, was immortal. Especially when we move back here. Because I'm getting a little too big for our britches. The thing about it is, Diablo 3.5 was immortal. It plays very similar to Diablo 3. It's like Diablo 3 MMO, really, when you think about it. But, be patient, is what I'm saying. Unless you've played through all of the game, seen all of the codex, we haven't seen all of what the codex has to offer, seen what boons do. There's, like, certain specific items for every class, certain specific buffs that we haven't seen yet. You have to really look at that. We know kind of what endgame's shaping up to be, and I think it's going to be a pretty fun endgame, which is going to be pretty robust. Obviously, at some point, just like Diablo 3 with its 2 expansions, just like with Diablo 2 with the Lord of Destruction expansion, there's going to be a Diablo 4 expansion. It's probably going to be paid. I don't expect we're going to see it in the first year, although it probably would be in their benefit to do it in the first year. My guess, between a year to 2 years into Diablo's lifespan, before we're going to start seeing some sort of paid expansion. We're going to see the Paladin again, because in Act 1 they referenced the temple, the followers of Zakarum. Zakarum is the Paladins, and if they don't do that, then they're going to find a way to kind of work in the Crusader lore, because basically in Diablo 3, the Crusaders are like a bunch of Paladins that branched off and kind of formed their own religion. I can see the Paladins coming back, and I think we've seen elements of the Paladins in Diablo 4, because of... I'm sorry if this is a spoiler, so in case you haven't played Diablo 4 yet, and you don't want to be spoiled, you didn't watch beta footage, you may want to cover your ears for about 30 seconds here. But I would say that there's, because of Inaris and his followers and everything of the sort that have their priesthood, and particularly one particular character, his name evades me, but he was featured heavily in Act 1. He was trying to atone for his sins. I think it's safe to say that the followers of Inaris are a new version of the Paladins, and if not, they're Crusaders. I'd love to see the Crusaders and the Paladins. I'd love to see, honestly, every class from previous Diablo games come back, but obviously some of them play too similar to ours. Like the Sorceress, the Sorcerer play very similar to the Wizard, so it would make a whole bunch of sense to have that. When you think about the Crusader and the Paladins, pretty much play similar too, so you would either pick one or the other. The Witch Doctor I'd like to see back, because the Witch Doctor is a very unique playstyle that would be interesting to see. Because I'm pretty sure, you know, everybody that was in the Unicorn Lands, the Witch Doctor classes, their race, they probably would be back in Diablo 4 unless they killed them out. You know, there's a lot that I'd like to see. I'd like to see every class back that is possible to have back. Obviously, some that have similarities, you can't do that, but the ones that are very unique, definitely. I'd also like to see, like, a truly unique class, because we haven't gotten one of those in a very long time. It feels like in Diablo 4, it's time for us to introduce new classes besides the classic ones from previous games. Maybe in a patch, or another expansion, that's pretty cool, but hopefully we'll see the Witch Doctor. If we don't see the Witch Doctor, another thing that I would like to see, obviously, is either the Paladin or the Crusader come back. Probably we won't see Wizard, and it makes sense. Just based on how the Sorceress plays, holy crap, there's a lot of mobs there. But I get it, that makes sense. We haven't really leveled up in a while. That's how you know it's taking a long time. This is also not a very high level area, so it's more slow and steady. I'd be surprised if we were able to level up before the end of this. We're full on gold? No, so why did it glitch there? Okay. A lot of ice immunes this time around, so we're gonna just hang back and shoot our fireball. Okay, good. Get this gold. There's gold, well, a lot of ice immunities this time around. It's a good thing. This is why I play fire, or frozen orb fire sorceress, for these reasons here.
I am overburdened.
Just makes life a little bit easier. I also prefer to use these fire skills because they're not very mana heavy, as opposed to if I use Meteor in particular, a lot of mana gets burned doing it. And it's also got a very slow cast time. As opposed to this, I can throw a lot more fireballs out. Alright. Open that. Pick this healing here. So yeah, Diablo 4 though, definitely. I like what they're doing. I think for those on the fence, give it more time. Look at more video footage when people actually start playing the game, myself included in there. That might be a shameless plug. Maybe it's not, maybe it is. But definitely look, because I feel like some people are judging the game far too harshly based on the lack of information that they have. You've only seen 25% of it. And from what I've seen, it doesn't look bad. I'm gonna deposit some gold here, because there's always a possibility in hell that you're gonna die. Let's back out. Hope you're all doing well today on this Monday. Thank you for joining me for 2.5's debut. Hope you really enjoy it. I really enjoy the wings. The wings were not developed by me personally. Just so you know, I did tweak them a bit to, you know, respond a little bit better than the way they were. I also changed up the color scheme, etc. But if you look in the YouTube description for my wings, yeah, you're gonna see who did the wings here. I was very happy with the end result, though, because I was looking for a good pair of wings for a while now. The rest of the model, pretty much, I worked on certain elements of it myself. Alright, very good. Move back here. And I know a lot of people are asking, well, why don't I have a 2D or live 2D model? I'm not interested in one. Said it for a long time. I would never try to break my bank for something like that. If I were to ever do... I know there will be a 3.0 eventually. If I were to do 3.0, I always said I would like to pull a Code Nico with the type of technology she does on Unreal Engine 5. I think that would be really awesome. I would love to have this particular small shield interesting. That's probably going to be Kleeger, most likely. Oh, let me go back to base, because I almost died there. When in doubt, retreat. Honestly, it's because of the chain lightning. This armor that I have on, this build in particular, does not handle lightning resistance as well. Obviously, because the build itself. That's Kleegar. Has to be, right? Yeah, Kleeclaw. Well, that's such a bad shield. Early on, if you have nothing else, that could get kind of useful. Not for sorcerers, but for our characters. Classes. But for what we're trying to accomplish, no cigar here. Alright. Let's go Frozen Orb again. Back the skeleton. You gave me crap, buddy. These are ice immune, so we'll take them out with fire. I don't know what immunity you have, but it don't matter. If you have none, we're still gonna be able to kill you. Okay, I can't break the ice immunities on some of them. That's why I need Sunder Charms. That's why Sunder Charms are so good. Let me heal up a little bit. I didn't realize I was taking some damage. I don't get staggered too much with this character. Let's Blizzard here. Good. Still no Sunder Charm. We're basically trying to target any mob or monster that has yellow text in front of it, or aka orange text, because that means that it is a champion pack. And champion packs have a possibility to drop a Sunder Charm, but the rate in which these things drop is... Let me get a little distance here. There's too much going on. I'm concerned that my follower, mercenary, whatever you want to call him, is going to die out if I'm not careful. Yeah, we can't break through a lot of ice immunities here, which is unfortunate. That's why I need the Sunders, but this is a pretty good density right now, so if we're going to get something rare to drop, probably be around here. I mean, we've had some interesting loot drop. They're not bad loot, just not anything I can use personally. That's... Oh! That was a dum-dum play. That's fine. Run our Blizzard here. People are probably asking why I don't have Ice Nova equipped. I don't have a slot for it. I could. Also, the thing is, I have to really, with this particular build, play Keep Away. So there's that. Alright, Corruption begins to fade, so we're almost done with this rotation. I'm thinking Tristan, probably, or Trisham. Have to move. Go back to base here a quick second. Taking a little too many hits. We're also going to pay a visit to Dragon.
Good day.
Because it is cheaper to buy 10 of these than to pay money for the follower. Good thing is with this build, what I'm liking is the fact that we earn a lot of gold. There's just so much gold that's available. That's a good one. Alright, let's go. Let's move over here. We're gonna go cast another Blizzard. Bad. Not bad at all. Good rotation. I did get hit. Obviously, there's so much lightning going on that I have to be very careful in my rotation here. I play on controller, in case you're wondering. So, that is what I'm doing right now. Why don't I play mouse and keyboard? I'm traditionally a console player. Also, my hands have a bit of carpal, so it's a little easier for me, personally, to be able to rock with the controller. Obviously, I don't have as full precision, but I do well enough. Alright. These guys hiding in the corner. These are trash mobs. They're really not going to drop anything good, but you never know. That's a key. Sometimes you might get lucky here. I think we're going to have probably one more damage rotation at best. I mean, usually when it says a corruption has started to fade, it's like your 5-minute warning in the chair zone. Alright. Give me a Sunder Charm. That is not a Sunder Charm. I'm very angry. That is very bad. No sir, I don't like it. So tomorrow we'll be playing some Pokemon. I'm thinking tomorrow I still have the Ditto raid then, because I didn't update my raid data. Because I don't really jump on Pokemon too much. So I'm thinking what we could do is we could just kind of farm for Dittos tomorrow. See if we can get really good breeding ones. I already have a good 5 IV one. That's 5 IVs best in attack, defense, special defense, speed. The only thing it's lacking is in HP, which I think is pretty good enough, because the thing about it in Pokemon is bottle caps, they throw them at you practically. And it's so easy, like realistically speaking, you don't have to really breed in this gen, which I think is kind of cool, because you know, they give you the candies just doing terror raids. The one thing that's so unfortunate about Scarlet is the fact that the game itself is not very fun in terms of single player aspects. We don't have Battle Tower. It looks like they're going to try to sell that as DLC in the fall. On top of that, like, terror raid farming by yourself, it just gets bad. Some things, like, you have to have very niche, specific Pokemon builds just to be able to do it. Sometimes it takes long. Terror raids themselves are glitched. You'll see tomorrow when we play why I don't play as much as I do. But I know a lot of people are interested in seeing me do some stuff with Pokemon, so want to be able to. I don't have like any games in particular that are always going to be on the rotation outside of Diablo games. You know, we're trying to have at least 2 to 3 times Diablo. When Diablo 4 comes out, there's going to be more Diablo content again on the channel. Guides, etc. Alright. Go here. Not bad. Pretty good. Uh-oh. That's pretty bad, though. You should not follow Mr. Streamer's boneheaded play and teleport into a big mob there. You know, had they been a bit more strong, they would have one-shotted us, and I would have lost a lot of experience points. It's taking a lot. Corruption is all but dissipated, so I think... It didn't matter, I think we cleared out the area anyway. But, yeah. Alright. This area is no longer terrorized. Alright. In that case, what we're gonna do is we're gonna wait for it to go to whatever the next terror zone is. What could it be, chat? What could it be? What could it be? Oh, now we're into stream already. Okay. It still says Far Oasis, but Maury proved that that was a lie. Alright, so I don't know what he was thinking here. Let me take a sip here. I got some Powerade on me. Gotta stay hydrated for this one. You know, talking consistently. Something that people don't realize when you're doing long-form content of any nature is it puts... That's why I waited. What does that say? Something home? Black marsh? Interesting. Okay, let's do that. Let's look for the waypoint. And then from there, we'll go to the next area. Black marsh. In the pit. I think it said the pit or the hole. The hole, right? Yeah, okay. That's what it said. Good to know, good to know. Alright. It's very, very dark here. Alright. Might kill all the mobs in the area again, because we are looking for basically elite packs. The good thing about this area in particular, very easy area for me to farm. So I am very happy that we're going to be able to have a very easy time here as well. Very fortunate, because sometimes I'll get like Chaos Sanctuary, where you're lucky if you could do one run in an hour. And I think we're pretty good here. Alright. Yeah, we're very good here. This is actually one of the best areas we could have gotten for a stream. Alright. Take these out. And we'll take this right out. I'm gonna kill all the trash mobs too, because I just want as much experience points as we can get. I don't see anything. Alright. Let's go. Kill him. We're pretty good. Indeed. Heal up a little bit though, because we are getting a little bit too aggro. Oh good, experience shrine. That's gonna come in useful. We're gonna kill everything in the area, and then we'll go to the next area. Alright. Just because we want possibility of some rare loot dropping, possibility of a rune word dropping. Possibility. There's a lot of champion packs here. This is the only good thing about the Black Mark. Alright. What was that? Grand Scepter. I don't need that. The good thing is nothing here is ice resistant. So we pretty much can use our skill to the best of their fullest potential. We found the area. Take out everything first. No need to jump around just yet. Okay. Check up here. They're basically elite pack farming right now. Alright, let me teleport here. Giant sword I don't need. I'm not picking up any of the gray items because that's not really what I'm looking for. Unless it says like a monarch shield. That's the only time you're really going to see it, because I'm looking for a 4-socketed one. I found a 3-socketed one actually off a stream yesterday. Which was kind of terrible, because ideally I want 4, and when you see a gray monarch shield, you're like, yes, finally! Hope it has 4, and it's always usually like 1 or 2. This one is free. I mean, if you want to make a good call to arms, realistically though, by late game, that's not going to help you too much. Alright. If I had a 2-socket monarch shield, I'd probably use a rhyme. I'd make a rhyme with it. Or, it's unfortunate that I'm not going to have enough strength to be able to hold anything. Got a respec on this character, but I kind of messed up a little bit. Because I respected out because it was originally a Lightning Sorceress. Which, it's good. Lightning Sorcerers are pretty good in Normal and Nightmare. But it kind of falls off tremendously in Hell, just because, like, unless you have all the endgame gear, which you can only get from Bale anyway, or you have Sunder Charms, it's just really rough for you. It is the best build, though, realistically, but I prefer being able to farm comfortably and not have to worry about immunities for the moment. But eventually, my goal is to probably switch back to Hell Sorceress. Or not Hell Sorceress, excuse me, Lightning Sorceress. At some point. And if not, just make a new Sorceress when I get the Lightning Sunder Charms, and she will be my Lightning one, and this will be my Frost one. I kind of prefer the Frost style anyway, because it feels like I'm actually playing the game. Mythical Sword, interesting. What could that be? Do we have gotten something rare to drop? I don't know, chat. Let's find out. What's this? Oh, Kaflos? Holy crap. Was not expecting to see that. Yes, we're going to keep that sword? Alright. That's a good pickup. We got something really good. I mean, some people argue it's not really that good, but no. I have a barbarian that's coming up in the world. I can't get rid of that, though. What's this? Am I ever gonna use this? And I can't get rid of that. I definitely can't get rid of that. Looking to see what we can get rid of. I don't need that. I don't need that. The key is in the way, though. Yeah, I'm curious. Like, I want to get rid of the Mage Fist, which people would cry if I got rid of that. See if I can move things around a little bit. What is this? What is this? I have a lot of shells, so we can afford to get rid of that. Alright. That stuff, like, these drop a lot, as you've seen. We've had several of them actually drop during this, but hey! Blue Kaflos weapon. I'm actually really hyped about that. Was not expecting to see that during this run. This is why I like Terror Zone farming, because A, it breaks the monotony of just farming... What's his face? Fail. On top of that, you get better experience, because all the monsters are always scaled 2 levels higher than you. And on top of that, just like, it's not doing the same thing over and over again. You're going to one area for an hour and farming it. Hopefully it's not a bad area. Sometimes it's not great, but you deal. Sometimes you get really good areas here. Like, this one's perfect. This is like the best place for me to farm for the next hour. So I'm very happy. Everything went well in terms of this particular stream today. Alright, let's go. Get this guy dead. Plus, we're making a ton of gold, too. Just because of the way this build is set up. So that's pretty good. You know, because one of the things is, obviously, hell difficulty. As a, you know, your mercenary has a tendency that it's going to die quite a bit. And there's not really anything you can do. Oh, good elite pack there. This one, too, is good, too, because there's, like, a lot of champion packs. So there's a lot of potential to get good loot. We just aren't getting Sunder Charms, but that is Diablo for you. I think I need like 500 magic find. Probably. Yeah, this is perfect because you could just kill so many different things. Nothing resists us on Fever, so that's perfect. Housekeeping? No? Okay, good. Well, we're definitely cleaning up here. Herodic Shield, yellow. Nope, not worth it. Alright. That's the next area. Let's check the boulder, though, right? Yeah, deterrorize. Alright. Let's go to the pit, if I remember. This is it. The hole. Excuse me, the hole. That's where we're going. Terrorize. I think if we're good in the hole, also. I think this area, pretty much everything's not immune. Yeah. I have a good feeling about this, chat. This is a pretty good area to farm. We do have to be a little bit careful, I'll be honest with you, though, because my follower got a distance here. Have them come to us here. I gotta take out these champion packs. Hopefully my follower doesn't die in the process. Alright, that's good. Scroll. Not bad. Let's break these things here. Alright, pretty good.
I can't carry anymore.
Not bad. Easy peasy. What's this say? Just gotta be careful, because if you go in too hot, as I said, you will get swarmed. My followers actually could use a boost in health. I did, if you saw there very quietly, I did it. Cool. Let's keep going. This is probably the best Parazones that we could have gotten. Very easy ones, chill. That's what I like sometimes about the afternoon one. Because when you're playing on single player, a lot of people probably wonder, it's based on the clock of your computer. As opposed to the online ones, they are... Oh, that's a lot of enemies, so we probably should be careful here. It's based on the clock, obviously, of the internet. Oh, I hope he can kill that. Okay, he can. Good. I was concerned maybe he couldn't break through the immunity. Sometimes you gotta get lucky. Alright. Gotta heal myself, because I did take a bit of hits. Kill this guy. Good. Nice. Take him out. Pick up the dead body. Alright. We gotta kill the shaman in the middle of all that, because he's the one that's resurrecting everything. There's more than one shaman. Alright. Let me just take him out over here. He can't resurrect. You don't let him. Alright. Alright. I am curious about that armor. It's up here. 4 sockets. 196. That's actually pretty good. Maybe my paladin? Yeah, I'm gonna leave it. We're not gonna use it for the sorceress. Because she can't... She's never gonna have 196 strength. And although I could probably... I'm gonna, for my barbarian, use Immortal King anyway. It's my build because I like spin to win. Even though some people will say it's better to go different route with it, but... I'm gonna have different variations on my barbarian anyway. Alright, let's take... I'm taking too many hits here. I think, for the sake of safety, we're gonna go back to base a quick second. And then from there... I'm gonna kind of heal up a little. I'm surprised those things are... Oh, that's Decker. I thought that was Akara. Now, as you can see, I don't have a respect left because I did have to use one. But it doesn't matter because I can farm bosses and get the item that I need if I wanted to swap her. Alright, that's good. Let me check something here a quick second and good old OBS, make sure we haven't frozen. Okay, we're good. Alright, lovely, lovely. Everything is going according to plan today. That's what I like to see. Thank you for joining me here. If you're just joining us, we're playing Diablo II Resurrected. We are tier zone farming, trying to get Sunder Charms and a good item. So far today, we've gotten a Bufkalos weapon, which I was very surprised to see that. That's a pretty rare drop, so I'm very happy about that. We haven't seen any Sunder Charms today still, so I'm still trying to get my very first one. Kind of unfortunate, but, you know, it is what it is. Diablo 2 definitely is one of those games where it's about the journey, not so much the destination. It's going to take you a very long time. People who farm things for like 20 years to be able to get the perfect gear. And isn't that something that you really rush through? I know there's a lot of people who you see content creators that have all this great gear, but what they won't tell you, I'm not trying to blow up their spot, but I'm just going to be realistic, is the fact that a lot of those people were able to transfer over their saves from their computer to Resurrected, so you get all your gear when you do that. Some of us, though, starting from scratch. Alright, pick up Identity Scroll, because I have been identifying quite a bit of weapons here. Alright, let's take out the Brute. Take out the Air Brute. We're good. Not bad. Let's take out this. We're really good in 1v1 situations. We're also pretty decent at crowd control. Obviously, when I get every piece of gear that I need, we're going to be way better at that. Referral coil. Alright. Real quick, show me what it is. Dude, that's terrible. I'm actually mad that I looked up that. Okay. We need to pick up a health potion at some point when we see one drop. Look. It's a little quarter here. I know we have to go that way. But before we do that, I'm gonna make sure that we got everything. Plus, I like to rebuild the map. So that I know the next time I go through the run, that we're able to do what we need to do. We'll go this way first. Pick up that. Oh, that's gonna be bad. It's not bad because we can't deal with it, it's just gonna be annoying because look at everything that's coming. Ah, that's a... Okay, you take care of that, I'll take care of the artifacts that don't have double immunities. Thank you, mercenary. Good. Let's take out these frets here. Easy peasy. Alright, cool. Matriarch bow. War fist. None of this is particularly useful. I do have to pick up some healing now. Let's open that chest. I don't think you can get a Sunder Charm to drop from those. At least personally, I've never seen them drop from that. Personally, I haven't seen any drop yet. I think Magic Flame we're going to have to buff it up to 500, which is going to take a while, but it's fine. The higher the level we are, in terms of our character level, the better loot will drop too. So it's like our priority to try to get into the upper 90s. And just make life much easier. Like the reason even the Boof Kalos weapon drop, or Boof Kaflos, excuse me, kind of got a little tongue-tied there, is due to the fact that we're very high level. Right now we're like level 87, so the Terrai Zone goes to level 89.
I am overburdened.
So that does play a bit of a factor. Alright. Very good, very good. Alright. I'm gonna do another run. I do need to take a sip of hydration, because my throat is getting a tiny little bit parched here, but we're pretty good. Thank you for joining me today. Hope you like the new model. Let me know in the chat, or even in the comment section if you watch this on VOD, what you think of Dreadscape 2.5. I think it's pretty good. I really enjoy the wing effect here. Like, let me show you here real quick. That's pretty cool in my personal opinion. That's some very good hydration that we got going on today. Alright. Drinking blue Powerade, in case you're wondering. Favorite flavors? Blue. Pink, which is the strawberry... Is it strawberry? Or kiwi lemonade? I don't remember, actually. And I drink it all the time. But the pink lemonade? No, pink lemonade, that's what it is. Powerade pink lemonade. I don't like the other flavors. Gatorade? I'm not really too big of a fan of Gatorade. And people will probably be asking, what about G Fuel? I've actually never had G Fuel. I hear that the strawberry lemonade flavor is really good. You know, one of these days I really should probably try to order some G Fuel. See how it tastes. That'd be pretty cool. I think, in my personal opinion. Just to try it. People say also there's something called Sips or Sups. I've never tried that either. Maybe I'm a bad streamer for not being up in the know in those things, but... Alright. Same thing as before, we're gonna kill everything because as you see, sometimes ignoring things, you'll ignore the possibility of getting good loot.
I can't carry anymore.
I like to comb the whole area if possible. Is there... In particular with the Black Marsh, there's a lot of enemies. Good density, which is what I was getting at. Like, to be able to do well and get the most effective loot. Another thing you could do is bump up the player count. I'm not going to do it because my gear is not very well tweaked for that just yet. You know, we bump it up, it's going to take a little bit longer. And right now I'm just kind of focusing on trying to do the fastest runs possible. But we could put it at like player 3 if we wanted to, and that might manipulate a little bit. But I don't want to really do that right now because I want to be able to farm comfortably without the stress of, you know, maybe taking one hit and dying. On top of that, because I'm still power leveling too, as you see, I can't really afford to then start dying all over the place. Speaking of almost dying, we teleported into a big rotation of enemies here. It's fine now. As you can see, because this is a very early area game in how enemies don't do as much damage here. I'm going to do a lot of gold farming unintentionally too. This was not the plan for today, but happy accident. I guess they wanted to bless Dreadscape 2.5. Some good fun Diablo streaming today. For Diablo 3, because I know some people have asked. What did I think of the Season 28 theme? I thought it was pretty cool. I didn't get to finish it out for the wings, and I probably won't do it. Just because I don't have the time. Only because, like, you had to grind a crazy amount to be able to do the rest of the spell. If you even forgot the zeals for it. Yeah, that's what they were called, zeals. So, I kind of just did up to a certain point, and then I needed, like, a bounty cachet to be able to get to the next part. And the bounty cachet on the Switch, because I play Diablo 3 on the Switch. I'm playing Diablo 2 Resurrected on the PC, though, if these guys are wondering. Has a glitch for it that they haven't fixed, so I would have to, like, wait a full week to do it. And by that point, I just kind of was like, well, I don't feel like playing more Diablo 3 season. I was like, I saw what I wanted. I got what I wanted. Had some fun. I just left that then. I mean, at the end of the day, it kind of sucks I'll miss out on the wings, but Diablo could probably rotate that back or make it single player if they wanted to. That element. I feel like the Zeals are going to be a single player mechanic after the season's over. I don't see that that's going to be only for the season. I feel like that's the last major addition to Diablo 3, and then after that it's going to be just a complete game. Because you notice nobody's been talking about Diablo 3 ever since the last season released. Once Diablo 4 beta came out, even Blizzard themselves, particularly Diablo, has not talked about Diablo 3 anymore. So, you know, at some point we all know that Diablo 3 was going to ride off into the sunset. The game's been out, what, 12, 13 years or so? I think my math is off on that. Anybody in the chat or in the comments can correct me. Feel free to correct me. You could be like, actually, Dreadscape, Diablo 3 has been out for this long. You're just bad at your knowledge. Yeah, it's fine. But with that being said, though, yeah, so, you know, it's pretty much Diablo 3 is on its sunset out. And with, like, Diablo 4 coming out very soon, and the fact that Diablo 3 is not a bad game. Because it's not. It's a fun game. I had a lot of fun with it. But the story for it was bad, and there's a lot of things that were design decisions that were kind of questionable. But it's not a bad game. The story is kind of bad, but the game is fun. Like, if a game is fun and there's no, like, game-breaking glitches to it, it's not bad. It's just one of those games that is very polarizing for the community. I am terrible. I overshot all those teleports by quite a bit. We're going to attack from far away, and we are also going to... might have to actually use, believe it or not, here. I have to, like, get the follower to stay close to me here, because he has a possibility here to die if I don't babysit him. Just because it's too many enemies for him to deal with. And the follower, obviously, mercenary, is not very good at crowd control for all intents and purposes. Alright. Come on. So, I'd rather babysit him and he don't die, versus we don't do anything and then he does die. Alright. See if I can take out some of these targets here. He should be... oh, wow, he's gone for it. God bless the mercenary. I gave him a brand spanking new weapon and he feels like he can just, like, take down God himself.
I can't carry anymore.
Alright. Ogre X. I don't really need to look at axes at the moment. Maybe I should ask you a question, chat. What's your favorite pizza? Mine's pepperoni. I also like buffalo chicken pizza, but the problem is I can't really get, where I am, really good buffalo chicken pizza. There was, like, one really good pizzeria that used to do it, and they had an issue with their gas. They said they were going to fix it, and then they never came back after that. Because this was, like, at the height of the pandemic, too. So, you know, a lot of businesses were just trying to stay afloat, and, you know, if you're not able to make money during the pandemic because you can't, like, the building's not going to fix the gas, why would you Continue to pay rent for that establishment. So it was unfortunate. It was a really good pizzeria. It was like my go-to pizzeria. And then like the other pizzerias around where I am, they're not really good. They're not bad, but like I like my pizza a certain way. So I like less cheese, more sauce. And a lot of the pizzerias around here do more cheese, less sauce. Or another thing that I noticed for the pizzeria is like, I don't know about you, but I'm not too big on having my sauces be very bitter for my pizza. And a lot of the pizzerias around here do bitter sauce. I don't know if it's the particular tomato sauce that they use, because I think bitter ones, to my knowledge, are cheaper, more cost-effective. Did we actually break through that immunity, or was it mostly the mercenary doing that? I'm curious. I think we actually broke through that one. It's kind of nice. Let's take out more moms. Fortunately, this turn we didn't get... Oh, that follower is going to die if I don't babysit him here. Alright, hopefully it doesn't go... Sorry, I'm scratching my nose, so it's not having a seizure or anything of the sort on stream. My model reacts like that when I scratch my nose, because my hand goes in front of the camera. Alright. These things take a long time to die. I don't think they were going to have this much HP. Alright. Well, nothing good this run. I'm actually a little bit heartbroken by that. Hopefully we're going to get something unique. There's a lot of enemies there that I have to be careful about. At least the mercenary is getting kind of tanky too, so that's a plus. Can we teleport down? We can. Okay, good. Take out that. But yeah, you know, so the pizzeria is like, they don't do sweet sauces. It's cheaper, I guess, to use the more bitter one. But even if you go to a supermarket to buy like a tomato sauce, usually it's the more bitter flavors that tend to be cheap. And the sweeter one tend to not be. And yeah, you could add like sugar, I suppose, to your own tomato sauce if you want to. Even though I think that's a very bad idea to add sugar. But, you know, it is what it is. I don't feel like some of the pizzerias around here use marinara. I think they're using something else. Maybe like their own homemade blend. Because like, I'm pretty sure a lot of the pizzerias around my area that do like pasta. I don't know if you have a pizzeria around you that has pasta or sells pasta. I think most of the like mom and pop pizzerias tend to do that. But like, even the pasta, it feels like a lot of the time they're just opening up a box of ranzoni, throwing the sauce mix in there and like upcharging you. Well, here, let's see. The restaurant around me that sells pasta, like basic pasta is like $15, almost $20, which is crazy because back in the day, I sound like an old man, you know, that wants his kids off the grass and everything, or off his lawn. Like back in my day, spaghetti sauce used to be like $3 or $2, and you know, pasta at the pizzeria used to be no more than $8. Yeah, and that's like $8 more, so it's like $16 on average here. I live in a metro area though, so obviously it costs a lot more to do things of that nature. You know, they gotta pay rent. But mistaken, one of the restaurants near here, the starting rent that they need for a month, or to pay month for a month of rent in these restaurants, like $40,000 a month. You know how much pizza and how much pasta, and for the price of the pasta that you have to charge to be able to make $40,000 rent in the month to pay. Well, keep in mind, like, it's not only the fact that you have to obviously pay the rent, but then let's move back here because I got poisoned. I don't want to take unnecessary death while I'm ranting about pizza and pastas in pizzerias. Plus, we were going to tick to death there. But yeah, you know, the thing about it is, like, you know, you have to pay the $40,000 in rent, and then you still have to pay your staff. There's the price of the food itself, like obviously the supplies and stuff, so you're trying to make your money back, I guess. That's why you gotta charge $20 in a metro area for pasta. But, you know, it kind of hurts, because at that point, like, is somebody realistically gonna buy pasta from a pizzeria then when they can just, you know, cheaper to make your own if you have the time? I am so concerned with this follower because he... Oh, there's a war axe there. I think we broke the immunity there. And I'm not complaining about that. I will look at the war axe in a minute and just want to make sure we get rid of all the threats. Because that war axe might be useful. Depending on the, obviously, the attack stat. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Okay. Cool. Let's go back. I'm gonna drop my personal items here a second. Because I don't want them to get mixed up with that, and then I forget something, and then I ruin my current build. Let's pick up some of this gold while we're at it. That's probably gonna be a crap axe. Look at the damage, 10 to 18. What is this? Rake Scar. That is terrible. I'm very offended that that dropped. That is, like, not even an upgrade worth it. Pepe said, let's pick up some health potions here, because I don't want to pay for them. Alright, very good. Alright, let's back out. Cool. Good, good, good. I think we got about half hour left in the stream, then I'll be taking leave back into the Dragon's Den. Hope you had a fun time here. Thank you for joining me for 2.5 reveal. So glad with the way this one came out. Like, I'm in love with this one. Look at these wings. Look at these fabulous wings. Look at the animation moving with these rings. Now that's some top-notch work there. Alright. Let's go. Let's go. I might be simping for myself now, and I have no problem with that. Alright, I think we could do probably a couple more runs here, right? Same strategy. This is... I'm so glad that we were fortunate enough to get good Terra Zone. Aw, I'm poisoned. That's not good. It's caught on an imaginary rock, it looks like. Oh! You know, we should probably not do that. Not if we want to die. Or we don't want to die, right? That's the purpose. Especially look at my experience point bar right now. If I were to die now and get like a 10-point experience point regression, I would probably start crying on stream. 2.5's debut, and then just start crying. Alright, let's go. Let's do this. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Let me move. Oh, brand. I think we got our Sunder Charm, guys. I think we finally got it. I think that's it. I think we did it. Let's go, baby. We gotta check it. I'm about to get hype. I don't care which Sunder Charm it is, as long as it's one for the moment. Let's go, baby! Let's go. We finally got it. Cold Sunder Charm. It took 4 days of farming. We did it. And it's a good one. Yeah. Perfect. Perfect. Alright, chat. We gotta fix the build up actually now. I wasn't expecting for it to drop. I honestly... Wow, 2.5 debut. Alright, chat. So, good news. Very good news. So, we did a lot of very effective runs today for Diablo 2. I'm very, very happy with the end results. A little bit caught off in the recording. My apologies for that, because there was a little bit of an OBS crash. I think we were doing way too well for the game. The game had a very hard time keeping up with us, to say the very least, but you didn't get to see it. I'm gonna show you it right now, because we only got like 15 minutes left anyway in the stream. But I am gonna show you something very, very important right now. During that last rotation, we got the... Obviously, we just got the Cold Sunder Charm, so now we can pretty much kill everything, because they can't resist us anymore in ice immunity, so we break through with that. But the other benefit, too, is look what I found. 90% fire resist. So, any fire build that I have, 90%. This is actually better, the 90% one here, than the 82. 82 is not bad, though. This is pretty good. Anything that's, you know, somewhat high, decent. But we got a 91. So we got two Sunder Charms during the stream, which were the first two to drop. We put it to the test. We're going to try to hit the level up and try to see maybe we can get the lightning one while we're at it before we end stream today. But I think we're in a pretty good position while we're around. It seems like the Black Marsh is perhaps one of the best areas. That and the pit. when you're at like level 89 to be able to effectively farm for Sunder Charms. So that's great. And we're about to get a little bit higher in the levels because we're about to hit a level up here. We'll do that. Go. There were a lot of enemies on screen, so I think OBS couldn't handle that. I think for the next one I'm going to try to use Streamlabs. See if that helps a little bit. I've had some problems, I'll be honest with you, with OBS ever since I upgraded. I don't know why it acts up, but it acts up. It's a thing. Alright. Move back here. Alright. We're pretty good no matter what we do now. Gonna hit that level up pretty soon. I don't think we're gonna get any more Sunder Charms. We got 2 in one run. That was kind of crazy. It's a shame you didn't get to see when the far one dropped, but like it was 2 in one run. That was amazing. We'll never get another run like that going. Perhaps. Alright. Let's do this. Let's shoot this. Good. We'll take out these threats. So, yeah, you just get an area where you can deal the most damage to the monsters. A lot of monsters you need. High level. There's certain areas that are better. I wouldn't necessarily want to farm for Sunder Charms now that I can confirm it. In Tristram, Luca Lane, Sewers. No, you need something with a lot of enemies. We just put it to the test on stream, so that. Let's do Blizzard here. We hit the level up. That's good. And I feel like when we did get the Sunder Charms to drop in particular, they dropped when there were a whole bunch of enemies all packed together. So I think there's some proof in the pudding that you want to pack the enemies up there. Alright, this corruption is about to dissipate, which means that's basically the 5-minute warning in terms of that this Terror Zone's about to disappear. This is probably one of the best Terror Zones to do it, the Black March, though, with the whole... with enough Magic Find, too, because we have, like, about 200 plus Magic Find. When I switched to this build, compared to the first one I was using, we had an easy time getting... not easy, but we had a lot of rare stuff dropping, so it's a matter of just bumping. This is gonna be crap. Ice Blink? Yeah, I called it. Alright. We'll do that then. Yeah, our build actually changes tremendously now, because I don't have to put any more points into this. I can put points into Blizzard. No. What gets powered up? Ice Bolt. So we're gonna put points into Ice Bolt. Oh no. The cow level is Sundered. We missed our opportunity here, chat. Alright, well. I'll be honest with you. As fun as a cow run would be, I think we're gonna pack it up there. Because, I mean, we got what we wanted. And we got a bonus. So that is not a bad day's work for the Great and Powerful Almighty Dreadscape Gaming. Alright then, chat. Let's go back into the just chatting room here a second. Let's get a little bit more comfortable. Alright, very good, very good. So, that was basically Diablo II Resurrected. We did what we set out to. We got our Cold Sunder Charm, and we got an extra Sunder Charm. And we had a level up. Which means now we're pretty good position to do endgame farming in just about any area with our Frozen Orb Sorceress. In fact, now I can pretty much go back and try to get all the essences respec, and we could go full on Blizzard with her if we wanted to. I could wait to eventually farm for the Lightning Sunder Charm, and we could get maybe that done. The Fire Sunder Charm, I don't know what I'm going to use it on yet. I have some ideas of what we could use it for, but only time will tell in that retrospect. So, thank you to everybody who was watching this on YouTube. I'm very happy with the way the model came out. It seems like this model has brought us a lot of good luck, maybe because I pledged my allegiance to Lilith, the Blessed Mother of Sanctuary, but we had a fun time. I had a lot of fun. Pretty fun stream. We got our mission accomplished. I usually will put out content here on YouTube 5 days a week. If I'm checking my schedule right now, yeah. Okay, so tomorrow I have planned Pokemon Scarlet. So we'll play, I don't know, about 2 hours of Pokemon Scarlet. We'll do some Terra Raid dens. I still have the Ditto one because I haven't updated my internet data, so that's good. We'll do some Ditto hunting. We'll try to get a whole bunch of competitive breeding Dittos. We'll try to get any other little Pokemon that we need. We don't really need much, though. I've almost completely filled out the decks. It'll be the first time that I'm actually playing Pokemon Scarlet on stream. And you'll probably see why I haven't really wanted to do it. Because you're going to see a lot of glitches that you've never seen before. So, helpful links before you go. First and foremost, make sure to follow us on Twitter. That being twitter.com/Dreadscape if you want to know when I am putting out a video next. Or if I decide to go live on YouTube, I will do some live content in the not too distant future. I just want to kind of get used to going back to some pre-recorded format because as you see, sometimes I need to do things in terms of the editing to get everything just right. Anyway, from there, if you're not on Twitter, you can follow us on Facebook. That being facebook.com/Dreadscape Gaming. If you're not on Facebook, definitely make sure to check us out on Instagram. That being instagram.com/official Dreadscape Gaming. Because fun fact, we had somebody that actually tried to imitate us. And you know what they say, imitation is the highest form of flattery. So, you know, I don't really think too much about it. I do have a Discord. Discord is available in the social media links that are here on the YouTube channel. And for all intents and purposes, the bat has been burned. So, I'll see you tomorrow for some Pokemon Scarlet. Hope you enjoy the rest of your Monday, whether it's nighttime or morning, depending where you are in the world. And I will see you here, back in the Dragon's Den, tomorrow. Thanks for watching. As always, like and subscribe is greatly appreciated, as it helps the channel grow. See you tomorrow.
Good day.